Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video with On Point Politics, your number one stop for all things polling and election analysis in the United States. And today we're going to be looking at a 2024 election forecast. Make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you want more content just like this. And so, looking at the Electoral College map, Donald Trump currently leads my national average by about 3.5 points, which is what Alice Intel has. Rasmussen Reports has a Trump +2 race. The People's Pundit from Richard Barris has the race about tied nationally. So all the accurate pollsters essentially have a national popular vote lead for Donald Trump. And when you factor that in with my national popular vote average, when you factor that in, the pollsters that have been more accurate in 2020 do get a way higher weight now. And so that's kind of what you're seeing there. And at this point in time, Donald Trump is the favorite to win the race. I mean, we just got a new Virginia poll that has Donald Trump just down by like a point or two in the state, which is literally what I have. I mean, that's literally what I have as the forecast. I have it as a 2-point victory for Kamala Harris. So it seems like my forecast may be lining up. And it was one of the only pollsters to predict that Glenn Youngkin was going to win the governorship back in 2021. And so looking at the safe Republican states, we have Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, all of Nebraska, as well as Kansas, Oklahoma. We also have Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Indiana, West Virginia, as well as South Carolina, Alaska, including Iowa and Ohio. And so at this point in time, Donald Trump now has 149 safe electoral college votes in his column. And we are currently looking at this because he has gained a couple states in the safe column, including Alaska, Kansas, Iowa, Ohio, South Carolina, and Maine's 2nd congressional district. And so that is basically what we're looking at here in terms of what states he's added into the safe column. And he's added quite a few. And Iowa and Ohio have a large white working class population, and those are now in the safe column. He won those by about 8 points each back in 2020. I have them now as a little bit over 15-point wins. They are trending to the right, but the fact that they are this Republican is a pretty good sign for Donald Trump as of right now. Looking at the safe Democrat states, we got California, Hawaii, DC, Maryland, Massachusetts, and Vermont. These are states that are in the safe Democrat column. As of right now, they are basically solidly going in either way right now for Kamala Harris. And we see here California is probably about a 20-point win. Hawaii is around a similar margin. Vermont about 29. Massachusetts 25. Maryland a 23-point win. And DC like a 78-point victory for Kamala Harris. So they do shift to the right, but still remain in that safe Democrat column. Now, looking at the likely Republican states, this is where I differ from most forecasters. Donald Trump is up in all the swing states by a pretty comfortable amount. Florida, he's up by about 12. Texas, he's up by about 13, 14 points. Georgia, he's up by about 6 or 7. North Carolina is about an 8-point win. Arizona is about a 7-point victory, almost an 8-point win. Nevada around a 5 to 6-point victory. Wisconsin and Pennsylvania both in the 6-point category each for the former president, putting him all the way at 297 electoral college votes. And this is something very, very fascinating, guys. I mean, Donald Trump is killing it in the electoral college. I mean, if you just look at the polling data, it's very simple. All the accurate pollsters have him ahead by 2 to 3 points, and my aggregate has him up by 3.5, which is very close to the 3.6 percentage point lead from Alice Intel, which was the most accurate national poll back in 2020, which predicted a Biden plus 4.2 percentage point popular vote win. But not only were they the most accurate here, they were also the most accurate in Colombia, in Argentina for the past 3 election cycles, as well as Brazil, in Chile, and as well in the Spain legislative election in 2023. They were the only pollster to be able to predict a deadlock in the legislature because of that. And so now we have a pollster that has Trump up well ahead in the popular vote more than the other aggregates do. But when you look at the other aggregates, it's kind of funny because when you look at them, they are shifting to the left by roughly, give or take, or to the right, excuse me, by give or take about 6 points each, 538 in RCP. I have Donald Trump improving in my average by about 7 to 8 points from the 2021, which actually has Biden up 5.1%. My polling average was accurate in 2020. And so now looking at this, the former president's very well on his way to winning the Electoral College with pretty great ease. Oregon and Washington are in the likely column, as well as Colorado, Illinois, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Rhode Island. New York, Maine's first congressional district, are going likely for Kamala Harris. These states were all safe back in the 2020 presidential election, but are now in the Democrat likely column for Kamala Harris, showing that she is underperforming with white voters and certain other demographics. Now, looking at the last few states, New Mexico is about a 2-point forecast for Kamala Harris. It's going to be closer than people expect. There is a large Hispanic population there. And if Donald Trump is doing that good in Arizona, Texas, and in Nevada, he's probably going to also have the trends continue in New Mexico. Even though you will have some of those white liberals in Albuquerque probably trend to the left a little bit, you are going to see the Hispanic vote and white working class vote from New Mexico kind of move hard to the right. And that's what we're kind of looking at there. Virginia is a state that's going to be about a 2-point victory, which is actually what the latest poll out of Virginia shows, which was a very accurate pollster back in 2021 for the Virginia's governor race, which actually had Youngkin up. So again, the race is close, and a lot of polling we've had that's semi-accurate has had the race basically within 3 points. And so that is a very interesting revelation to look at there. And it means at large is about a 1.5-point win for Kamala Harris. It's close. It still goes to her right now, but that's kind of what we're looking at in this current moment. Nebraska and Michigan are going lean Republican for Donald Trump. He's going to win them by about 1 to 3 points each. The Nebraska second, probably a point or two. Michigan about 3 or 4. He's improving with white working class voters. And there was a Teamsters poll that had Donald Trump up in the 60s, basically 60%, with Harris at 34% support from the Teamsters Union. That's why they didn't endorse anybody, because their people are breaking for Donald Trump by such a big margin that it wouldn't have made any sense to endorse Kamala Harris nationally. And so a lot of them reside in those big, Rust Belt areas, New York, New Jersey. There's a lot of them up in the Northeast / the Midwest. So it's going to be very crucial to see this unfold here. And in Minnesota and New Hampshire, we have very narrow leads for Kamala Harris. She is spending ad money in New Hampshire and did go there recently for a campaign rally, because literally it's close. I mean, I had somebody reweigh all the polls, and it was basically a tilt race for Kamala Harris. And now Minnesota is basically neck and neck as well. All the polls have it as a 3 or 4 point race, but they are oversampling Democrats. And when we reweigh the polling, it's about a point race. And so with the model, it is in the tilt category for Kamala Harris. And so this was a general breakdown of the 2024 presidential election. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you want more content just like this. But before we do go, I actually do want to show our sponsor. We can go ahead and go to betonline.com. This is a poll, basically a website where you can kind of bet on your own predictions, essentially, for the election. You can go here and go down to politics. And when you see it, you can bet on the presidential winner. You can also bet on the margin of all the individual states, whether they're going to go red or blue. You can bet on the actual margin of victory, as well as the House of Representatives and at the Senate elections coming up. And so I will see you guys very, very soon.